So I'm finishing up painting this white. I'm going to make sure I do a final pass on this. And I spent a lot of time masking because, you know, even though some parts can be separated on its own individual color, a majority of it will be masked where it will, you know, have specific areas showing off different color tones. I'll explain that in a moment. Right now, I'm just going to finish up this base, which is done. There we go. I have very little here. I almost miscalculated the amount of white I have, or technically the Mr. Color Gundam Colors MS white, because this is an off-white color. I had two bottles, and each bottle had a very, very little amount of paint, which was, I was like, oh, god damn it, why didn't I see this? And so I immediately tried to mix it, but it was like a paste, a heavy paste. So what I did was I took thinner, Mr. Color leveling thinner, 400. I think the 400 means 400 liters, doesn't mean it's, you know. And I put in, you know, maybe about half the amount of thinner inside, began mixing it, began shaking it, and I left it there overnight so that way it could, that way the thinner dissolves the pigments of the paint, or the paste of the paint, to a liquidy format, and it came out pretty good. And I was able, and I had enough plus a little bit extra on the reservoir of my airbrush to finish up everything. So let me just give you a brief example. Right now here is the body, which I did paint. I don't mind this being painted because it's going to be covered up by the shoulder armor, but I've already masked off everything. It's starting to peel off a bit. Some areas will be hand brushed a bit, but I painted all this white along there, and I masked off these because I did. Before this, I began painting the MS gray metallic, and I had a lot of this. So a lot of it was in specific areas of the kit, which were showing joints and connectors and things like that. There are other parts that I needed to paint. I screwed up on a few, which I will redo again in a few moments. But I wanted to show you what I did with this. So for the legs, I masked off everything you could see there, and I began painting off areas that's white. I'm not going to remove the tape, because I'm going to retape areas where I'm going to now paint another layer of color, which will either be the darker or lighter tone of purple. So here's an example here with the legs. Let me show you more examples. So here's the shield, which has been painted white. But then if you flip it over, it's been masked because I painted the inside gray. I kind of screwed up there, so I'm going to have to redo. Actually, I can do that right now. I'll review that in a moment. There we go. So this shield is done for white. I'll mask it off soon to repaint the other colors. This one's done because it's only going to be the white and the metallic gray that you see. It's been covered up. I just covered everything, painted there, and there. And when I get to this, that will be painted the other color. So that will go right on top of that, on top of this. This is the side shield skirt armor that I made. Looking to cover. I'm going to now begin masking off some areas. Thinking of masking off the whole thing here so I can paint this color, this one color, and then maybe paint off that another color. Don't know yet, so that I have to figure out. The one thing that I think I'm going to have a lot of trouble with is going to be this one. Not too much trouble, because for one, the inside trim needs to be painted a different color. The circles need to be painted in another color, because well, how I thought of it was my purples. So I'm thinking of using the darker tone as the bottom base, while the lighter, oops, wrong purple. Actually, is that it? No, that's the light blue. Alright, so this will be a kind of a base type format, where here I'm going to paint this color, maybe mask off this all around and paint this color, don't know yet. The actual spikes that goes on it will be this color. So that will be an example for this. For this, thinking of doing the darker purple here, masking out areas like this area here and this area here, and painting it the lighter purple there. I'm going to leave this white alone, but the thrusters will be the lighter purple. Thinking of maybe the skirt armor as a darker purple, don't know yet. These are things that I have to flesh out and figure out which one I will tackle first. But right now I need to review all the white parts. I do see some white parts that I may have missed because, you know, the lighting. So I'm just going to give it another pass, just so I can finish up the reservoir that's in this paint in the airbrush. And then, of course, I don't know about this guy yet. He's already done, but I think I'm going to probably mask off this area so I can paint this cheek area the lighter purple. But it's going to be tough for this one, so I got to figure that out. If not, I could probably do the actual blade itself, the actual horn itself. But let's see what happens. Let's see what we can do. So, fun stuff. Fun stuff. So I've been painting the other parts using this color, number 67 purple. And I masked off a lot of them. I'm sorry if I'm not showing you me painting them, because I'm kind of like in a rush to get these things done. But I wanted to at least show you the outcome. Let's begin with the smaller parts here. So this is the back heel, which I was able to remove. Back heel, no, not the back leg armor, which is really nice. And here's the part of the forearm. But, you know, I'm sorry, I think the lighting does not show purple. Because when I'm looking at it in my camera, I'm looking at it as blue, but it's purple, alright. But, yeah, it's done on this, it's done on this. On the forearm here, because I masked it. On the back legs of this, on the armor parts, I did this part purple. Didn't do the front part. That is the same with the other legs that I put over there to the side. This one I did this. So that's good. This one is done, because I put another layer of tape to cover just the top part. So I have one layer of color. Hopefully that comes out right. This part, I'm a bit worried. I don't know if it came out well. Painted this one purple, but I left everything all white except for one area I did this area purple. This little spot here, I'm reserving that for the other purple. It's right here, which I'm waiting for the airbrush to cool down. Yeah, I was using it for a few moments ago, and I'm waiting for this to dry. I don't want to start painting it now. I'm just going to give it about a good hour or so before I move on to the next, before I move on to the purple. This one I've done. Now I cut this part off here because I'm going to spray paint that. I'm gonna go. There are some parts that I kind of screwed up. Like for this one right here, I guess during my spraying, a little bit of purple fell on this. So I'm gonna get. I have very little of this, but just enough for me to actually respray paint this area and even it out. But that being said, I said I was going to use the blue, but with all this, I think I'm not going to. I'm deciding to change my mind and not do that. But I have to repaint some metallic, gunmetal parts over here. But then I have the other paint, which is not chrome. Sorry, I was thinking of that. Because I'm going to be using the standard gunmetal from AK. That should be a different color tone, so I'll have to try that out. I got to cover this up so I can spray paint the gunmetal also. So I'm going to leave that alone. Here is the chest part, which I did paint the whole thing, but that area, nothing else. Nothing on the side, everything else. So let's see how it looks. Try to figure out something like this one, just to do little subtle things here and there. So that came out alright. What would be another perfect example? I put everything to the side here. I'm just waiting for them to dry. The forearm, only the back part of this arm is purple, and I'm going to remove this and put it on the metallic, on the reversible tape, so I can paint it the pink, the violet color. And here's the shield. Take care of that as well. So I have other parts that also need to be repainted, like the forearms and the bicep armor. Those will be painted the violet as well, so that's a different type of tone. There's still a few other parts that need to be repainted again, so give me a moment to prepare this so I can show you all this, okay? So hang on a second. So I finished up painting the MS Purple, which is more violet than purple, and some parts I was going to actually mask off and paint it on this, but I'm going to leave it alone. I like it to be a little subtle. So I just want to review what I did. For starters, let me just remove this masking tape off these. I did this. That's alright. I'd remove this here because I'm going to respray paint this gunmetal, but that's how it would look. I had masking tape over this and this, put a little tape there. Come on. Come on. Granted, this is probably not going to be looked at. There we go. Oh, come on. Doesn't take this long to take off this. There we go. There's going to be a lot of dry brushing here, let's just say that. I have a ton of masking tape that I've used. Some of these masking tapes I'm not going to get rid of. I'm going to reuse them again, repurpose them, you could say. Let me see this here. Not the most original idea back here, but it's kind of a start in a way. The main attraction, of course, is in the front. Come on. You know what, I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to remove the first three. I'm not going to spend my time on camera showing off me removing all this masking tape on these. Come on, come off. It doesn't... Alright, you get the idea. I'm going to leave that alone because it's going to drive me nuts spending my entire time here. Some of these I can actually remove with no problem. Remember I said that I cut these off, but I'm not feeling how I did it because I have a feeling that if I start spray painting, it may bleed off to the side, so I'm going to redo it again in a way which is a lot easier. I did detail some violet on this. Put that here to repurpose it. Every time I turn this, I thought this is dark, and yet it's the light and it's the shadowing effect. And you think that, oh wait, did I forget to cover something when I painted this? And truth be told, yeah, you did cover it. The only problem is that it's the light. And then as a knee-jerk reaction, I began painting it, and I was like, wait a minute, I already did this already. Not realizing it. Might as well remove all this. There we go. I pretty much used up 2 rolls of masking tape, which that tells me that next year I have to buy another 2 rolls of masking tape, and that's going to be annoying. Like this little thing here, where did that come from? Yeah, it's going to be a lot of respraying again. Alright, so that's what it looks like, and I might as well get the other parts to show it off. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here it is. So that one goes here. And then how this is set up, whoops, would be, I need these, this, and this. So this one goes here on the top. I'm going to see if I can glue that poly cap into position, because I'm really sick and tired of that being too loose. Let's put that there, put that there. There's a little bit of a fade, so I'm going to there's going to be a lot of parts that's going to be retouched up, so there we go. But I'm going to mask off this area a little bit more so that way I can paint these. Maybe do a dry brush, just carefully brush it, but I'm not 100. I don't want to be completely, I don't want to screw it up. And to say, the last thing I did was this. This is going to be the last one I'm going to peel off. And yeah, looks okay. Now you'll notice that some colors, some of the paint is nice and shiny, while others are a little dull. Bear in mind, this will be, I'm going to dull coat it a bit. I'm going to give it weathering. I'm going to weather it up so it looks, you know, be in the battlefield and all that stuff. So I may be removing the shine that's on these parts. There we go. Retouch up these guys, of course. Remove, hand brush some stuff here. There's the umbilicals I have to hand brush. As a matter of fact, let's see how this looks here. Okay. The head I have to detail up a bit. I didn't get a chance to do that yet. I'm really I'm getting down to the wire with this. I did this part, as you see. I can't believe that there was a little bit of gunmetal that metallic gray that didn't get cut. I need to detail that there. As a matter of fact, don't know if this is the one. This one is this one. I didn't mark it, so that goes there. The thruster goes there, and then the back leg goes here, and this one goes there. Eee. There we go. I did one thing that may or may not be appealing to you guys. I'm going to see how it looks after I finish detailing it up, and that is the leg armor. I'm going to show you an example right here. Just need to remove some of this. It gave it a fading effect with the violet, but part of it is fine. The other part is there's a little bit of spraying. So if I had like a, and I should have thought of this, if I had like a piece of wood like here and then start spraying from a distance, the fade would look good, but I didn't think of that. So I'm going to first see how it looks, and yeah, well, might as well do this now. So remove this massive sticky tack there. I think that's not bad. I'm going to clean it up a bit, but I think that's actually not bad. So, I'm down to a few things. I'm going to review, clean up, do a little detailing here and there, making sure that every part is properly painted, every paint that has been covered. If I miss something, I'm going to retouch it up again. This will be, of course, my not so final video because it's not done yet. Today is Wednesday, 2017, October 4th. I will do a final review tomorrow of this kit, and we will all see what this kit will look like, and I will finally give you the name of this kit so you guys will know what it's going to be called. Tomorrow we'll talk indefinitely. I'm actually considering doing a live broadcast, but I may not. I have no idea yet, but I will, do another video so you guys can finally see what this kit looks like. So tomorrow the kit will be done.